100 men versus one gorilla. The definitive analysis. It is one of the most enduring and debated hypothetical battles of the modern age. A question that strips away our technology, our tools and our weapons, leaving only the bare essence of our species. What would happen if 100 unarmed, average men faced a single adult male silverback gorilla? It's a scenario that feels primal, almost mythical. On one side, the power of the collective, the sheer force of numbers that has allowed humanity to dominate the planet. On the other, a singular embodiment of raw, untamed nature. To find the answer, we must dissect the fighters, analyze the strategy, and simulate the brutal reality of the encounter. First, we must understand the gorilla. We are not talking about a simple ape. We are talking about a silverback, an adult male at the peak of his physical prowess. He stands up to 6 feet tall on his hind legs, with an arm span wider than any man he faces. He weighs over 400 pounds, and unlike a human of a similar weight, this mass is composed almost entirely of dense, powerful muscle and thick bone. His strength is the stuff of legend, but the science is even more terrifying. Conservatively, a silverback is estimated to be 6 to 9 times stronger than an adult human male. This isn't just about lifting weights. This is functional, explosive power. His arms, which he uses for locomotion, are like massive pistons forged from decades of carrying his own immense weight. A single swing is not a punch. It is a clubbing blow with the force to shatter bones and crush a human skull. And his weaponry doesn't end there. The gorilla's bite force is estimated at 1,300 pounds per square inch. That is more than twice the bite force of a lion and significantly stronger than a great white shark's. His long, sharp canines are not primarily for eating, he is an herbivore, but for conflict. They are daggers designed for intimidation and defense, but perhaps the most misunderstood aspect of the gorilla is its psychology. This is not a bloodthirsty monster. It is a peaceful, intelligent animal. Its first instinct is not to attack, but to intimidate. It will perform a bluff charge, a terrifying display of roaring, chest-beating and ground-pounding. This is a calculated tactic designed to scare a threat away, to avoid a physical fight. It's a warning. But if that warning is ignored, its objective shifts instantly and irrevocably to neutralize the threat with overwhelming and decisive violence. Now let's turn to the 100 men. On paper, their advantage seems obvious. If an average man weighs 190 pounds, the collective mass of the group is 19,000 pounds, facing a mere 400. They have 100 brains capable of strategy, communication, and abstract thought. The very tools that led our species out of the savannah and into skyscrapers. But the human brain is a double-edged sword. While it can strategize, it is also exquisitely sensitive to fear in an untrained civilian. The fight-or-flight response to mortal terror is almost always flight. The sight and sound of a charging silverback would trigger a primal panic that no amount of rational thought can suppress. Adrenaline would flood their systems, causing tunnel vision, auditory exclusion, and a loss of fine motor skills. They would not be 100 calculating minds. They would be 100 panicked animals. An army is defined by its discipline, its leadership, and its ability to hold formation in the face of fear. A crowd has none of these things. A crowd is a liability. The panic of one man can spread like a virus, creating a chain reaction that dissolves any semblance of a plan. So let's simulate the battle. Second by brutal second, phase 1, the first 10 seconds. The gorilla is introduced. It sees the crowd as a threat. It roars, a deep concussive sound that hits the men like a physical blow. It beats its chest and performs its bluff charge. In this moment, the battle is already partially lost. A conservative estimate suggests that at least a quarter of the men, 25 individuals, are instantly broken by fear. They freeze in place or turn to run, trampling each other in a desperate, futile attempt to escape. They are no longer combatants. Phase 2, the first contact. Let's assume a small group of the bravest men, perhaps 20 of them, commit to the only viable strategy, a sacrificial charge to overwhelm the gorilla with sheer mass. They surge forward, aiming to grab its limbs, to weigh it down, to immobilize it. But they are charging into a whirlwind of violence. The gorilla does not wait. It meets the charge with shocking speed. It grabs the first man by the leg and flings him through the air. He lands in a heap, broken, It sinks its teeth into the arm of another, and the sound of snapping bone is audible to everyone. It swings its colossal arm in a wide arc, clearing 3 more men from its path as if they were dolls. Within 30 seconds, the sacrificial wave has been annihilated. The gorilla may have sustained a few scratches, perhaps a few desperate blows to its body, but it is functionally unharmed. It is, however, now fully enraged. The bluff is over. The fight is real. Phase 3. The collapse. The remaining 50 or 60 men have just witnessed an exhibition of violence they could not have possibly imagined. They saw their companions dismantled with effortless ease. Any plan they had is now gone, replaced by a single, overwhelming instinct: survival. This is the moment the crowd breaks. It is no longer a coordinated attack. It is a chaotic rout. The gorilla, now operating on pure adrenaline, will move to neutralize the closest threats. It will charge, grab, bite, and throw. Its movements are economical and devastating. Each action disables a man. The men are now tripping over their fallen comrades, their minds unable to process the horror. Could they inflict damage? Perhaps. Her desperate eye gouge is a possibility, but getting past the gorilla's massive flailing arms to reach its head is a near-suicidal task. They have no way to apply a chokehold to its thick, muscular neck. Their punches and kicks are little more than annoyances. They have no weapons, no way to inflict a truly fight-ending injury. Phase 4. The aftermath. The fight does not end when all 100 men are incapacitated. It ends when the collective threat is neutralized. After 2 to 3 minutes of horrific violence, the gorilla has likely disabled or killed 20 to 30 men. The rest are scattered, terrified, and utterly broken. They are no longer a threat. The gorilla, breathing heavily, covered in the blood of its attackers, will stand its ground. It has won. It has established total dominance. The remaining men will be too paralyzed by fear to even consider re-engaging. The battle is over. The verdict, then, is unequivocal. The 100 men would lose, and they would lose catastrophically. Their numbers, which seemed like such a powerful advantage, become a liability, breeding chaos and panic. Their intelligence is short-circuited by a primal fear they cannot control. They would fail because they cannot withstand the psychological shock of the first contact. They would fail because they have no way to inflict meaningful damage. And they would fail because they are 100 individuals, whereas the gorilla is a single perfect fighting machine. The scenario is a humbling lesson. It reminds us that for all our societal and technological achievements, we are still a part of the natural world, and we are subject to its unforgiving laws. In this arena against this opponent, humanity's reign is over.